of awareness as I'll be reading one of our scam stories. Yes, scam stories. Uh, Tonight is a very dear night to me, so I said let me read out a story. Actually, still working on it currently to put it into a series, but I'm just going to read it out to you. This is a true life story, and these stories aim to expose some of the excess. So, if you're watching, please pay attention and follow me as I read it. I'm no storyteller, but I'll try my best to make it as interesting as possible. So, this is a story of a girl named Cynthia, an upcoming entrepreneur with a very high business acumen and a very dogged spirit towards making it to the six figures and even becoming a billionaire. Oh, wow, she wants to become a billionaire. She had always worked hard through her secondary school and through her college education with little or no. As early as age 7, Cynthia had started working and doing menial jobs. Her father actually abandoned them at 7 and her sisters with her mother. And this didn't stop Cynthia from aspiring. She thought to herself, I could have a brighter future even if I have no father around. And she achieved it at age 23. She had become a successful young woman, having her own chain of stores, selling provisions. She sells anything to everything. And this was the dream of every 23-year-old young lady, having all the good things that a young lady can ever have: independence from a man, and have her own business, fully functional, and her own apartment. But suddenly, something happened along the way. Due to some employees that were older than her, they felt entitled to her money and said, who is this small girl that is controlling us? And suddenly, along the way, they plotted, they schemed, and they scammed her of her, what they call it, of her income. Every month, they started milking her dry. Because Cynthia was so successful, she hardly visits the supermarket because she thought she had left everything in trusted hands. But unfortunately, she got there one day, the store was empty. Money, no money in the account. She has been looted. And now the truth dawned on her, reality setting, that she has no savings. So suddenly, Cynthia was like, oh, okay, how do I start? Where do I start from? She started thinking, pondering, thinking, pondering, and suddenly a message popped up on her phone. And she thought, could this be God's intervention? Now, the content of the message was more or less telling her that she could access some money from a loan facility, like a loan shark or something, that these people help young business entrepreneurs to set up. So she was so excited, she didn't even verify it. So at the bottom of that text message, there was a link attached to that message. She was desperate and she decided to click on the link. And this link took her to a website where how these loan guys have helped businesses. They do it more like grant. How these guys have helped businesses to grow, and a lot of what they call it. It's not pre-recorded. I'm live. So if you are reading, I'm reading. I can see YT bro boss. I'm live. I'm seeing you. Yeah. Thank you for joining my live. So let me continue with the story. Um, so she went on the site. She started going through the comment section. She saw a lot of things, a lot of testimonies from different people. So she decided to give it a try. But along the line, when she was doing the registration to this so-called website, they requested for her to pay certain amounts to be able to, like, this sounds, she was still trying to believe her instinct that this was God's hand And let me mention, I need to repeat that she had already suffered some loss from her business and her staff ripping her off. Now she has the only thing she has in her savings is about $20,000. That's a lot of money for some people that run business. So now she said, okay. They now said, okay, get involved in this thing to access money, this scheme, you have to pay some amount. And at this point, she was weary. If she had known, she would have just pulled out and said, okay, let me not go further. But she still said, okay, let me go further. Along the line, a representative from that company was assigned to Cynthia to help her through the process, to see that this process is really trustworthy. And a guy was assigned to her. The guy's name was John. And this John, he started chatting with her. Now, a little brief history about John. John is the idea of a young man in his early 30s, successful entrepreneur, earns in the six figures, and has his own mansion. So, this was what they made Cynthia to believe. Now, Cynthia thinking that, oh, since these guys are so credible, they are doing so well, I don't have any reason to distrust them or question their integrity anymore. Now, John started chatting with her. It now turned out to be a romance relationship. That's a romantic relationship where John had to start checking up on her. He obviously knew about what Cynthia had gone through, and he started leveraging on the fact that Cynthia had gone through some things and worked on her. So he started comforting her, calling her regularly to keep her, to give her that comfort. So Cynthia started falling in love with John. And at this point, they hadn't met before. Because of the trust she had for John, Cynthia deposited that $20,000 in their account. Now, John claiming to invest that money on behalf of Cynthia, that they were going to give her returns on investment of $40,000, making it a money doubling scheme. Now, Cynthia gave the money. After 2 months, long story short, John stopped chatting with her. At this point, Cynthia was not worried because each time they had their conversations, John was always busy. But 3 months went by, 4 months went by, 6 months. Then Cynthia got really, really, really worried. Cynthia started calling John to no avail. John was unavailable. They blocked her out. There was no way to reach those guys. And that was how Cynthia's money went away. Now, a double, would I call it a tragedy or double scam? Cynthia tried to unalive herself. And a few friends were around and they discovered Cynthia was missing and they saw her. She had taken some pills and she was almost gone. They rescued her. Long story short, Cynthia is in a rehabilitation center. This is a true life story. I'm going to still develop it into a little short video so that you can see and you see the face of the person I'm talking about. I can't really share the face of the person here right now because of live. So stay tuned and watch out for that. And please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Please follow me on Facebook because I'm streaming live on both Facebook and YouTube. If you're on my YouTube right now, please subscribe to my YouTube. More stories coming up and more real scam experiences coming up. Please subscribe and we'll see you at the other end. Thank you and have a good night rest. Good night. Bye.